I've always been fascinated by the Beastie Boys making a transition from rock to rap in terms of the music they were making. What do you remember about them making that transition as artists?
Man, it seemed natural. You know,
Mhm.
my best friend. This is so ironic. So my best friend was a guy named John Barry, and he was in the Beastie Boys. He was the guitar player, and in a way, the de facto leader of the band, kind of. He was. He wrote a lot of songs. He was a fucking wild man. He is a crazy dude. He, he looked like John Lydon kind of. He was like the most English looking dude who was not English at all, and he left the band. He wasn't into it anymore. He was messing with like drugs, like speed, and just fucking drinking a lot and being a, a Lothario, and he wasn't into the band anymore. And he started missing rehearsals. And the junior version of the Beastie Boys was this band called the Young and the Useless, and Ad Rock was in that band with my friend Dave Skilkin, rest in peace, and my friend Arthur Africano, a bunch of other people, Adam Tracy, and he got. They always say he got called up from the minor leagues, and he replaces John, and they make Cookie Puss as a joke. They have two songs, Cookie Puss, which is an ode to Tom Carvel, and what's the reggae song in the B side, Beastie Revolution, and Cookie Puss starts to get played, and Beastie Revolution ends up on a commercial, and for British Airways,
Hmm.
uncleared, and they sue them and get some money.
Good evening and welcome to Beastie Chinese Restaurant.
So now
Wow.
they got some money, and they got a rap record that starts to get played on the mix shows. Because remember, there's not that many records. There's only a handful of
Right.
records to play. So they get played. They're not really rapping on a record, but they're scratching and a beat, and they're telling jokes, and it's funny as hell. And so from there, I think they realized like, hey, this is kind of working. Like we can do all this other stuff. Maybe we should start fucking around with rap music. They got on Rick Rubin's radar with Cookie Puss, and he meets them, and he decides that like I'm gonna kind of be your mentor.
Hmm.
Rick's only like a few years older.
Yeah, about to
Um,
say, couldn't have been that much
he
older.
wasn't much older at all. Rick is a DJ. He's DJ Double R, but he's also in a punk band called Hose, which were like a flipper knockoff. So he starts to mold them as rappers. He puts out "It's Yours" with Tila Rock and Jazzy, Tila Rock and Jazzy J.
Commentating, illustrating, description giving, adjective expert, analyzing some of the musical myths, seeking people of the universe. This is yours.
It becomes a hit. It's on Arthur Baker's Party Time label. Rick is Rick made the hardest record in New York at that time. Though
Hmm.
some say Jazzy J made it, I'm never clear who really produced it. I think it was probably both, kind of. Um, but he definitely was hanging out with Jazzy J a lot. Rick could DJ. He was a good DJ. And DJ Double R starts to mold the Beasties right around the time he has linked up with Russell. Him and Russell meet because Russell loves It's Yours. And they
Hmm.
become a duo. And their first project is the Beastie Boys and
Wow.
in unison. So Larry Smith is getting phased out as producer for Run DMC, and Rick fills that chair. So the Beasties they're like almost experiment group, but they really buy into it. And Russell, they're enamored by Russell and Rick, but Russell, because he talks in hyperbole, and this whole shit was so much larger than life. Plus, he has Run DMC, Houdini in his back pocket, so
Hmm.
he's already super official, right? Like he's in there. He's got Curtis Blow and all that shit. I mean, it's like it's crazy. It's almost unbelievable that they went from being a punk band to being able to like hang out Run DMC in a matter of like less than a year. So
Wow.
so they we all get swept up in the culture, and like Cookie Puss is a joke record. Don't get it fucked up. But like, and a lot of their rapping revolved around humor, but they also really, like me and all my friends who were caught up in the movement of hip hop, it spoke to all of us. It was powerful. And the Beasties had their own take on their shit. And it was steeped in humor, just like their punk rock shit was. They were kind of they called them joke core, like it was funny hardcore. So now they were making rap that was kind of funny. It was always a little tongue in cheek, but also skilled. So.
And also respectful of where it came from too, which I think is always
I
important.
think, yes, respectful where it came from, but topic-wise, maybe disrespectful. I mean, they're talking about shooting people in the face, smoking angel dust, smoking crack, shot homeboy in his fucking face, smoked a jumbo and watched Columbo or whatever the line is. Like, I mean, they're, talking about dusted, I got dusted. I mean, they're talking about some fucking wild shit. They're probably talking about shit that's surpassing Run DMC in terms of reckless lyrics.
Thanks for watching that, and if you dug that, leave a thumbs up and say what up in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Stony Island Audio for more.